Mangwanani Mwalelepo Vukenjani, Klekwas Vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show, bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Berry on a special edition of Africa Good Morning. Today, we are going to be zoning in on the Namibian election, which occurred yesterday. Of course, the voting happened way into today with regards to the morning, that is. When we say way into today, we say that it was expected to be done in the evening, but right now we have confirmation of people having voted around 2 a.m. and some a little later. But these are some of the headlines from today's show. Excitement and frustrations dominate polls in Namibia. President Nangolo Mbumba says it is a privilege to vote. The Kavango East Governor Bonifatius Wakudumo called for peaceful and fair elections. Do follow all our programs on oneup2.com, DSTV 285, GoTV 25 in Namibia, and Network Media Hub on YouTube. Talent Gore, our correspondent in Zimbabwe, will also join us, filling us in on the latest news stories from there. But this is Africa Good Morning, zoning in on hashtag Namibia Decides 2024.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhh.com.na.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
The most anticipated elections since the 1989 polls, which saw Namibia affirm its independence, have seen thousands of Namibians brace the scorching sun and long queues to cast their votes. These elections signal the first polls that over 90%, about 1,449,569 of eligible voters are registered and were registered to cast their vote. Political leaders were the first in the queues when polls opened at 7 a.m., with most presidential candidates casting their votes in the hotly contested capital city. Now, yesterday's polls were marked by several mobile polling stations such as Kaps Farm and Omeya running out of ballot papers, while hundreds of voters were still in the queues. Many Windhoek residents opted to drive to polling stations on the outskirts of the city in a bid to evade long queues. One of the biggest headaches that faced voters yesterday was the snail pace at which queues were moving, subsequently accusing the Electoral Commission of Namibia of failing to plan properly. Independent Patriots for Change spokesperson Ims Nashinge lamented the long queue, saying ECN failed to implement proposals from political parties on how to shorten the queues. The tedious voting process saw voters who were in the queue by 4 a.m. only voting around midday. Commenting on this, ECN spokesperson David Luka blamed the slow voting areas in areas surrounding Windhoek on urban voters flocking to rural areas to cast their votes. We have noticed that many people from outside Windhoek rural constituency have opted to go vote at polling stations in Windhoek rural constituency, putting pressure on the resources deployed. However, we want to assure everyone that this issue is receiving our utmost attention and we are going to serve everyone in the queue by 9 p.m., he said yesterday. Of course, we now know that people were voting all the way into the morning, right up until 2 a.m., some people a little further. But the rules are that if you are in the queue from 9 p.m., you do get the opportunity to vote. You're still with Africa Good Morning. We're going to be taking you through some visuals and interviews from Namibia's election as hashtag Namibia Decides 2024.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Still focusing on Namibia's election, President Nangolo Mbumba said it was a privilege to vote. Mbumba commented on casting his vote at the Independence Memorial Museum, Okonehlage reported.
A privilege. Worldwide, not everybody has the right to vote, and to vote in an atmosphere of peace and inclusivity, that every citizen, young, middle-aged, and old, we have the same right. I have only one vote, like you, like anybody else. And the most important thing is that all our votes must be counted and counted properly.
Now, Omaruru Mayor Vincent Kayau was the first to cast his vote at the Teachers Resource Center in Omaruru. Kayau urged the public to be patient during the process and to ensure that they made the right choice. Precious Ngitao Napo reported.
Yeah, thank you very much, Precious. I'm Vincent Kahwa, the Mayor of Omaruru. Today is the 27th of November, the very important day for every Namibians. And as the first citizen of Omaruru town, I was already in a line around 6 o'clock, and I was patient enough for 1 hour. The team is ready here at the Omaruru Center. They start on time, 7 o'clock. I was the first to vote, and I have cast my vote for the president of the country, and I have also cast my vote for the members of parliament. And the exercise here is moving very good, and I can see also they are ready. They are well equipped, they are well trained, they are ready to exercise their work according to the ECN. What I will just request the residents of Omaruru is to be patient, to make sure that you vote your right candidate for the president of the country. It's very important, and also to make sure that you make the right choice for your members of parliament. And I wish everyone good luck. Thank you.
The presiding officer at the Linyati fixed polling station in the Zambezi region, Tesi Muleta, said the polling station served all voters who were present earlier during the day.
People morning time they were voting, they were a lot. Now they came one by one, so there's no challenges which we faced. People they were voting nice. We are having a police officer, they were controlling nice. But agent, they were observing also inside. I think that's all.
No, you said about this little group. How many people were there and what was happening?
people were making campaigning inside, but we chased them out. They wanted to make a campaign inside, then we chased them out. So far, we don't have any problem.
Okay. Now, how far is this book? Do you think they'll bring did you communicate for them to bring another book?
No, we didn't communicate with them because we saw people, there are few now. I don't think even that one will be finished.
Okay. Your name?
Muleta Tesi.
Now, Salom Tangeni, popularly known as ST Kambwa Tange, encouraged the youth to show up in large numbers and vote. He spoke at the Omtia Elsin Church polling station in the Oshkoto region.
Yes, morning everybody. Morning. This is Salom Tangeni, the Secretary General of Affirmative Repositioning Movement. I'm actually here at Omfiat, the church. We are actually casting my vote here. I love the turn-up. The youth are here. The elders are having their line the other side. So Affirmative Repositioning Movement is well represented. I love the turn-up of the youth. So as you are talking about, people are about to start 7 o'clock, but yeah, we are going to do changes. We are going to vote for changes today. Affirmative Repositioning Movement, AR is the future. Professor Job Ampand in particular. Yes, guys, please find a place where you can go vote. Find any other place you can go vote. Get your camping seat. Get your cool box so when you're gonna get hot, so you don't go away. Get your shade and get your hat. So when you come during the day, you won't go because of the sun. So thank you very much, everybody. Please find a place to go vote. Let's do the miracle today. Thank you very much.
Staying with the Namibian election, which was yesterday, our Ghetto Greg was at the Dani Ube Old Hostel polling station in Mariento, where he chatted with Marcelo Getze, the presiding officer.
Long lines persist here at Gibeon, where the polling station, also the collation station, everything is going smoothly, according to the presiding officer, Mr. Maharero. Although he did tell me that this polling station is set to move around 1 o'clock, and he's not sure whether everybody who's waiting in line here will be able to vote before then. They may have to move with him to go to the next polling station. There are at least 3 different temporary polling stations set up here in Gibeon. But hopefully we'll get a chance to speak to him live in a little bit. We did ask for permission and he did agree. In the meantime, like everybody else here, we wait for the opportunity. And today is the day. Namibia, no matter how long it takes, go out and vote. Thank you.
Africa Good Morning is bringing you coverage from the Namibian election yesterday from our correspondents across the country. Stay with us as we continue after the break.
And send it to the number as indicated. Step 3. Follow the simple steps in the chatbot and submit your name and age. And most excitingly, the present you've picked from the list. Don't forget to include your physical address so Santa can find his way to you. Step 4. Once you've completed the previous steps, snap a photo of your drawing and your letter to Santa to submit your entry.
Now, remember, I'm looking forward to all the wonderful drawings and letters you'll be sending my way. See you soon, and keep spreading that holiday cheer. Ho, ho, ho!
You're still with Africa Good Morning as we continue to revisit the coverage of the Namibian election. Oshodonjupa Regional Governor James Yerikwa applauded the ECN, indicating that the voting process was smooth. Enza Mwele reported.
The day of voting, I've just finished casting my vote. I casted my vote exactly at 7 o'clock, and that's the exact time that the voting stations have opened. Yeah, the process is quite effective and very efficient. I spent around 5 plus on average 5 minutes from the whole process of actually receiving my card, biometrics, casting my vote. And I think it is important as Namibians on this very day, let's all exercise tolerance and patience let's all be listening to the officials that are there, ECN and the police officers. They will be guiding us as to what must happen next. It's quite a hot day. I call out on all Namibians out there, have an umbrella with you, be in the shade or some kind of, remain well hydrated because it's quite hot. And let's support one another. Let's allow our special citizens, the senior citizens, the vulnerable individuals and so forth, let's allow them to be given the preferential treatment for them to exercise and cast their votes accordingly. The process of today marks indeed the another time in our lifetime where we are exercising and strengthening our democracy, exercising our democratic right by casting our votes. And that is actually for us to choose the political party of your choice and a presidential candidate of your choice. Go out there as Namibians, vote in your numbers. Let's exercise our democratic rights. And God bless Namibia. God bless us all.
Affirmative repositioning presidential candidate Job Amopanda had urged Namibians, especially young voters, to go out and cast their votes. The polling stations opened at 7 a.m. and voting continued beyond 9 p.m. Tuyema Haidula reported.
Yes, absolutely, I'm very excited, more so to vote at home with my grandmother. She wanted to come in the morning very early. She wakes up very early in the morning, usually. It's always the first one to be up, and so I'm very happy to be here. Firstly, to be able to vote at home, and to see many young people, most of them that we grew up with, voting for whoever it is that they are voting. Our village is very diverse, very pluralistic. In fact, we even have my neighbor is on another parliamentary list. We grew up together, and quite a very interesting, diverse political view. So I'm very happy to have casted my vote here, and I think it's very important for every citizen to participate and do this, and particularly for the young people. They always say that unantanda kuna ngobe unampagona kunija. Me parliament in all those places, there's no Mpagona, there's no Ntanda. So to see young people participating both as voters and also as candidates, even for president. So everyone now knows that it's okay, it's normal for a young person to run for president. So there's nothing to be fearful of. And so we're very happy. My wife is also here. We decided to come and vote at home.
Deputy Commissioner for Crime Prevention in the Maheke region, Jackson Kamwanga, addressed voters at the Rakutuka Primary School in the Khobabis constituency about women using babies as a way to get into the polling station. This happened as a special team arrived to restore order, Elani Smith reported.
The big and big. Because people are going home, bringing the kids which is not belongs to them, and you cannot force them to breastfeed. I said let them mark their position and they got the shake. Because this is now a passport to go through. They are using the kids which are not belongs even to them. Because if you said breastfeed that child, says, no, I'm not breastfeeding. What will you say? We are saying let them keep their position. Go to stand there when their time comes. It is your position. You are in the group which is going. Otherwise, these people are going to complain. Because some of the kids are not for these people over here. It's not for them. Yes. Yes. We said there's a shade there. Mark your position. That meme will see sitting there. She was here. They said go and mark your position.
We are being like this.
But others don't want to go.
Some people like corruption.
So that's it. There's no harm for those. We are going to maintain it. Yes, amicably we will mind it. Yes, madam, are you Nadia?
Octavia Tives, reporting from the Kunene region, shared her observations of events at the various polling stations yesterday.
Hi viewers, my name is Octavia Tives, and I was your correspondent, and I am your correspondent from Kunene South. They call it this in these areas. I covered the towns and resettlement farms all the way from Tweefelfontein, Korrigas, Ocho, Kamayap, Fransfontein, Sesfontein, all those areas. My experience, this is my second election, presidential election that I'm doing. And I must say that this time around, it was well organized. All the queues, all the polling stations went well. There were no complaints in terms of the ballots finishing or the queues being long. Most of the people in these areas live in the resettlement farms. And the good thing that I experienced, or that the residents this side experienced, was the fact that they had mobile stations within the farms. And I think the people really organized themselves to go to these different polling areas, polling stations that are mobile, to cast their votes, and it went very well. I was able to vote at a mobile station, which is 40 kilometers outside of Korigas, a Tsutama farm, and there were literally 4 people ahead of me. This time around, I must say that the presiding officers were more welcoming to the media, as well as the officers. They worked well together. They understood that the elderly people could go in and cast their vote, and those that are pregnant and those with special conditions could go in and cast their vote, which was well organized, and it was very, very smooth. So yeah, now we are just ready to soldier on from 9 o'clock. I think that's when the real job begins. And that's from me, Octavia.
Oshana Governor Elia Irimari encouraged the nation to vote after casting his vote at the Andimba Toivoya Toivo Senior Secondary School polling station, Marin Gola reported.
Yes, I just casted my vote now here at Andimba Senior Secondary School in Ndangwa Urban. I have a very simple message to share to every loving Namibian, for the betterment of our country and for the good futures of our country. It's only through the power of ballot papers we will be able to unleash all the hassles and all the difficulties we have. It's through the ballot papers. So now I'm urging every Namibian who have registered, who are having the voter's card, please make your way to your nearest polling station so that you can cast your vote. So, and which literally means, in a simple stem, to have your leader of your choice and also to have the representative of your choice, so that all your voices, all your concerns can be unraveled, as time unfold. Here we talk of advocacy transformation as you are wishing, not changes as people are saying. We say advocacy transformational because it's an involvement, it's a process, of the future we want to see. And I'm also have to mention it here that at this place where I am, for me it's quite historical in the sense it's named, the place we are voting is named after Tevya Toivo, our iconic legend, and me myself, my first vote, I've done it at this same place, 1989. And this is what I say, for me, I'm doing it here for me it's quite historical. I thank you.
Now, Oma Elfriede Meyer, 84, was the first to cast her vote at the TRC polling station in Cape Manzoba. She did so in approximately 6 minutes. Otis Daniels reported from the Klaras region.
Môre Oma, hoe gaan dit?
Goed, dankie. Môre. Dit gaan goed. Daar is 'n probleem nie.
Mooi dag hier in Cape Manzoba. Effens aan die koue kant. Ja. Nou, Oma was die eerste persoon om Oma se kruisie te gaan trek. Hoe voel dit?
Ik moest vroeg opgekomen om mijn kruisje te trekken en alles klaar te maken.
Hoe was die proces?
Het proces was alright. Dat is het probleem.
Ja, dat was die probleem.
Dat is het probleem.
Hoe oud is Oma?
Ik is 84 jaar oud. Juli man 84 geboren.
Ja. Nou, Oma, hoe lang stem Oma al? Van die eerste verkiezing het Oma gestemd?
Ja, ik heb ook gestemd.
Oma doet het elke
ik doe het in elke.
Hoekom is het belangrijk om te stemmen, Oma?
Om inderdaad, als ik iets wil zeggen, heb ik het recht om te zeggen.
Nou, ons gaan nou een nieuwe president krijgen, een nieuwe partij misschien. Wat zal die boodschap wees? Wat de boodschap wil Oma vir hulle gee?
Ik moet zeggen, onderdanig wees en weet hoe om met de groot mensen te praten en met hulle te werk.
Oma, wat sal oma vir die jong span wil sê?
Die jong span wil ek ook sê, hulle moet ook kyk wat doen ons en op ons neerkyk en doen soos ons sê en hulle moet opstaan en hulle se werk doen.
Baie dankie oma. Geseënde dag verder.
Dankie.
Now, staying with the Namibian election, the Kavango East Governor Bonifatius Wakudumo called for peaceful and fair elections. Nangolo brought us this report.
It's 27th of November, the day reserved to elect for elections. So we are here. I can see the populace of Rundu, Mr. Fanzail is here. The veterans are here, everybody's here, elder and young ones. The youth are here. I'm happy. I'm even accompanied by the youth members who decided that we want to join the governor so that we can go and vote earlier. So the environment, the atmosphere in Rundu is perfect. People are coming. As you can see, there are two lines, one at the left hand and one at the right hand. People are coming. I'm happy to see the turnout of the people as early as this time.
Now, in terms of
Namibians, we are known to conduct very peaceful elections. My message, which I want to direct to the residents of Kavango is in particular, and Namibia in general, as much as we are to come in big numbers, for our election to be creditable, we need really to exercise our democratic right in a very peaceful manner. Let us come in number, let us have discipline, let us behave ourselves so that we can accord each and every Namibian who is coming to cast his or her vote that peace aspect.
Now, a voter who had been standing in line for more than 2 hours became visibly upset with officers misusing their power by giving preference to people they knew. Asalia Mbezi shared insights about the situation at Ella Duplessis polling station in Windhoek, as Michaela Hansen reported.
They must take a serious order about it. We cannot be standing in queues.
They try to bring in other people while you
They
guys
are
are
bringing in
working.
other people while people are standing in the queue. So it's very much unacceptable and disrespectful to everyone else that is standing in the queue. So tell your people inside there, the officials or whoever is there, to keep a proper order so that everyone can vote peacefully.
Yes, sir. How long has you been waiting in this line?
This is like 2 hours now.
2 hours?
Yes, since I came here. Or 3 basically.
3.
You are still with Africa Good Morning. We're going to take a quick break before we come back with our correspondence from 27 November.
ShopRite Namibia and Synergy Chatbot are delivering the Christmas spirit. This festive season, I've got a very special surprise just for you. My magical elves will be delivering gifts straight to your doorsteps. Grab your crayons or pencils and draw me a picture. Simply save the number on your phone and follow the on-screen prompts.
Just before we get into the overall reports from our correspondents, it is essential for us to highlight that one of the biggest issues was the lack of ballot papers, and the Electoral Commission of Namibia Chief Electoral Officer Peter Shama said there were sufficient ballot papers despite concerns that some polling stations were running out of them. Ogono Hlage brought us this report from Commerce Region.
Therefore, I want to assure the Namibian nation that we have ballot papers, and that at the moment we are busy sorting out to make sure that wherever the ballot paper is short, they are secured or distributed accordingly. And this is allowed in terms of the law. The fourth one, staying longer in the queues. The Commission has observed and noted reports regarding some numerous of people complaining of slow movement of the queues. I should state here that the Commission engineered the process to ensure that the people do not stay longer in the queues. However, so many factors could delay the process, including human factors. The fifth one, voter left behind by mobile polling stations or mobile polling teams. We got reports.
Now let's take a look at what the correspondents from Network Media Hub shared about their observations at various polling stations nationwide.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Kabes and I am with the Network Media Hub. I was tasked to look at the polling stations in mostly the Moses Garwe constituency and most of the polling stations in the Havana area. So what I've realized throughout the day is that there's a common complaint from all of the registered voters is that ECN was just not ready, be it a lack of sufficient ballot papers, be it the setup, be it the queues that are too long and that's taking time to progress. Yeah, those were the key points that I picked up throughout the day. And also I've ended now here in an area, at a polling station in the Havana area, in the most desolate and most vulnerable parts of Windhoek. And what some of the people are saying is that ECN just did not care about them. And the main concern is the fact that they might not be able to vote or finish casting their vote today, which would be sad. So yeah, that was in a nutshell what we experienced today. So we hope to see some change throughout the rest of the night because the night is still young.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rita Kakelo, and I was a journalist assigned or designated to cover the election footage in the Katutura Central constituency. So that area contains of Theo Kachimune, Katutura Central Community Hall, and the works. And the common complaint was that ECN was incompetent in preparation. They had 5 years to fix these incompetencies and they did not. They failed at the last minute. This is something that all the people at the poll, all the voters complained about at the voting stations. And also there was sort of a rehearsed response from the presiding officers to constantly tell the media that everything was going well when in fact the voters were saying otherwise. This in essence was a very humbling experience, just to show how it somewhat seems scripted from the side of the presiding officers, whereas we were reporting on the realities of that. One thing I would like to pass on to people is that when we do come as journalists and we report these things, we would like people to take these things seriously. It's because throughout the whole year we are reporting about the inconsistencies and we're reporting about the truth of the process of election, and people do not take this seriously, so that when they do see it happening, it's a shock to them. But we've been telling you about these things. So overall, it was a very humbling experience. It was extremely hot. We ran out of water. My feet are blistered. Yeah, but I would like to encourage people to stay strong, stay firm. What we're doing is we are voting for parties we believe will make a change for us. No matter what party it is you're trying to vote for, it's based on the fact that you think that it's going to bring a change to you and your life. So that is what I'm trying to pass on, but let's continue voting, guys.
Good day, viewers. Nankali Kamanga here in the Tobias Hanyeko constituency. Today has been a very eventful day. It has been great seeing all the registered voters line up, stand in those lines for long, long hours to cast their votes. There has been a few hiccups, like spoiled ballot papers really set aside a lot of time. The residing officers would take about 30 to 40 minutes to check it and then only let one person then come in after, so that made the progress a bit slower. And obviously the voters were getting very frustrated. And also when the ballot papers would finish up, then they would go get new ones and take about 2 to 4 hours to do that. So that was also a bit frustrating because then they would not let the people know sometimes. That was a bit sad to see because, you know, people have been standing in those lines for long hours. But other than that, when I would speak to all of the residing officers, everyone was super nice to work with, very friendly. The residents were a bit harsh, they were a bit violent, but I totally get it because they have been here. Some of them have been here since last night, 8 p.m. So everyone is a bit tired. All of the senior citizens were catered to. Sometimes the mothers would not get the best of treatments, but all of that got sorted out because the sergeants and the police officers were available to quickly sort out that issue. But other than that, it was a good day. Thank you.
Hello viewers, my name is Michaela Hansen. I'm a journalist for Network Media Hub. I was in charge of the Commercial constituency. So I would say that voting is definitely a very long process. I do think that some of the concerns that were raised with voters was that there was no efficiency. ECN had about 4 or 5 years to plan. I mean, if a polling station is at a school, there's numerous classrooms. Why are there not 3 or 4 polling stations to vote at? Also, how the voting is done. It's 1 by 1. I think 2 or 3 people can be allowed to vote or to go into the voting hall. To make the process quicker, it's very time consuming. I also think that the ECN must do a better job at explaining as to how to vote. Many people do not know, first-time voters specifically do not know how to vote. It's a very tedious process. The other problem that I had was the unprofessionalism of some of the officers. Many of them would give preference, especially at Ella Duplessis or Augustinium, would give preference to people that they know, which was quite concerning. People were standing there for 6-7 hours, tired, drained. Many of them left their children at home because they started queuing up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. And the fact that some people can just barge in. I also think the culture of someone holding your place should stop. If you want to vote, then get up and go stand in the queues. But other than that, I think some polling stations did a lot better, like Ochimisa Community Center did really well. They're very efficient. Also, Ochimisa Soccer Field A and Soccer Field B also did really well in terms of efficiency. I think the only thing that is a grievance to them was that their pads gave in, their voting pads gave in, so they're waiting on ECN to come deliver new voting pads for them. But other than that, they're very efficient, they're very quick. Ramatex is also very quick. Namkor is a mobile polling station, also did really well in terms of it's the same team that did the did the voting at the Chumisa police station for inmates and staff members there. So they were pretty quick because they were on time when they were supposed to start at 12. So yes, that has been my experience. It's very tedious. I think there needs to be better planning, more efficiency. I do think there can be a lot more done in terms of planning and better preparation. Always plan forward than the exact amount of numbers, because there are polling stations that are running out of ballot papers. So things like that can be prevented. But yeah, that has been my experience.
Good day. It's Patricia Kutsie here in the Riabos constituencies, that is rural, east and west. For most of my day, I was in Riabos covering the various polling stations. We started at the roadblock out of Windhoek towards Riabos, then went to Groot Oop and came all the way here. It was my first time covering elections from this point of view, and it was interesting to see how passionate and emotional people can get during this time. And it was also a nice experience to see how friendly people can be. We met a lot of presiding officers, a lot of police officers, and all of them were really cooperative, they were friendly, they were nice to talk to, and most people had a lot to say about the elections. We did hear a lot of complaints, of course, about the heat, about the long queues. We did see that what we heard from the community didn't always collaborate with what was said by the presiding officers of the different polling stations. But it was just interesting to see how emotional it can get. It was interesting to see how many of the youth turned up in numbers to cast their votes and to make their voices heard. But overall, the experience was exhaustingly fun. And if I was asked to do this again, I would think about it, but at the end, I would say yes. Yeah.
Good day, my name is Zoe Karsten and I'm here in Rubov for the elections today. I was in the Rubov Urban, West and East constituencies at the different polling stations. We were also at the Groep Oak polling stations today, and I must say today has been going on smoothly. And although the polling lines at the stations were long, the people were very determined to cast their vote and stand in line. There were a few technical difficulties at some of the polling stations where the tablets didn't work for a certain amount of time, but it was quickly resolved and voters then continued to vote. And it was my first time voting today, so I felt very welcomed by the officers and the polling officials that were willing to help me. And at the different polling stations, there was no fuss, no drama. People were calm and collected, and things went very smoothly. At some of the stations, people were upset about the long lines, but they kept on standing. And yeah, going to the last few polling stations, and then all is well.
Hello viewers.
So those were just some of the reports from our correspondents throughout the day on 27 November as hashtag Namibia decides 2024. Right now, the focus, of course, is on the counting of the votes. And Election Watch will be coming to you live from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., bringing you the latest updates with regards to that. But right now, we're going to cross over to a correspondent across the border, Gore in Zimbabwe. Good morning, Talent Wamkase.
Mamkase Africa.
Good morning, Africa. Indeed. Now, Talent Zimbabwe has recalled a faulty batch of YAZ plus contraceptives. Could you please, as concisely as possible, get into that and also give us your story about the teachers crying foul over non-payment of salaries? And then we'll need to wrap it up after those two stories.
Yes, the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe has recalled a batch of YAZ plus contraceptives due to its quality. The Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe said that the affected batch, manufactured by a company in South Africa, was found to have incorrect tablets configurations. So right now, most of the pharmacies have been ordered to return that batch to see if they have that batch. If they do, they have to return it, or they have to go and surrender it to the Medicines Control Authority of Zimbabwe. And my next story, apparently teachers in Zimbabwe are saying that they have not received their November salaries and bonuses. Teachers are supposed to get paid on the 15th of each month, and they are saying that they haven't received their bonus. They were supposed to get their bonuses and their salaries, and they haven't received that. And the teachers are saying that the government is lying, because the government announced that most of the civil servants, or all of the civil servants, had gotten their bonuses and their November salaries, but they're saying that we haven't received that much. And they're also crying foul that the bonus is coming in the Zimbabwean dollar, in the Zimbabwean gold currency, which is easily inflated, and they are asking for the authorities to give them their currency in the USD, in the United States. So right now there's just a mismatch between what the teachers are saying and what the government is saying in terms of the payments, in terms of the 13th check for the civil servants, in particular the teachers.
All right, Alanson, it is obviously a crucial time because schools will be opening in January. Thank you for bringing us the news stories from Zimbabwe.
You're welcome, and thank you very much for having me.
It's always good to have you on Africa Good Morning. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, it's the weather predictions and economic indicators.
As the holiday season draws near, ShopRite and Synergy Chatbot are delivering the Christmas spirit. Welcome at Santa's wish list. Follow the instructions to submit your drawing and letter to Santa. Step 1. Start by drawing a picture for Santa. And when you're done, just jot down a few details about yourself right next to it. Step 2. Scan the QR code and it will open up WhatsApp with a little message that says #ShopRiteSanta. Just send that message to Santa. Or if you like, you can also type #ShopRiteSanta into WhatsApp and send it to the number as indicated. Step 3. Follow the simple steps in the chatbot and submit your name and age. And most excitingly, the present you've picked from the list. Don't forget to include your physical address so Santa can find his way to you. Step 4. Once you've completed the previous steps, snap a photo of your drawing and your letter to Santa to submit your entry.
Now, remember, I'm looking forward to all the wonderful drawings and letters you'll be sending my way. See you soon, and keep spreading that holiday cheer. Ho, ho, ho!
Only free range. What's right for our laying hens is right for you. Only local, never imported. Only date-stamped eggshells so you know it's still fresh. The only eggs to choose.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Looking at our economic indicators, the Namibian dollar trades at 18.23 next to the US dollar. Zambian kwacha 27.27 next to the US dollar. And Nigerian naira 1,687.57. Looking at the biggest African stock exchanges, Casablanca Stock Exchange performing well with an uptick of plus 0.19%. Things seem unchanged on the JSE All-Share Index as well as the Botswana Stock Exchange, which is quite interesting given the change of administrations in Botswana. Looking at commodities, gold is currently trading at 2,555.95 an ounce, and it's red across the board, with Brent crude oil minus 0.21%.
ShopRite Namibia and Synergy Chatbot are delivering the Christmas spirit. This festive season, I've got a very special surprise just for you. My magical elves will be delivering gifts straight to your doorsteps. Grab your crayons or pencils and draw me a picture. Simply save the number on your phone and follow the on-screen prompts.
As the holiday season draws near, ShopRite and Synergy Chatbot are delivering the Christmas spirit. Welcome at Santa's Wishlist. Follow the instructions to submit your drawing and letter to Santa. Step 1. Start by drawing a picture for Santa. And when you're done, just jot down a few details about yourself right next to it. Step 2. Scan the QR code and it will open up WhatsApp with a little message that says #ShopRiteSanta. Just send that message to Santa. Or if you like, you can also type #ShopRiteSanta into WhatsApp and send it to the number as indicated. Step 3. Follow the simple steps in the chatbot and submit your name and age. And most excitingly, the present you've picked from the list. Don't forget to include your physical address so Santa can find his way to you. Step 4. Once you've completed the previous steps, snap a photo of your drawing and your letter to Santa to submit your entry.
Now, remember, I'm looking forward to all the wonderful drawings and letters you'll be sending my way. See you soon, and keep spreading that holiday cheer. Ho, ho, ho!
Thank you for staying with Africa Good Morning, as we have been covering the Namibian election, which was yesterday, 27 November 2024. The results are soon expected to be announced. The counting has begun, so do stay tuned to NTV Network Media Hub on YouTube, oneup2.com, DSTV 285, GoTV 25, particularly from 8:30 this morning, where we already start giving you the latest updates, and that is in Election Watch. But for now, I'm going to hand it over to the wonderful ladies of Smell the Coffee. Swera Jakanaka.